This clip is taken from my brand new online course, George's Genius. More details later in the video.
If the chords of the song aren't enough, then let's add some more. For example, instead of just G7, C7, D flat 7, C7, F, I was adding in a G, G7, C, C7, D flat 7, C7, a lot of chords. And this is something we can call the passing chord. This is where we have a primary chord and another primary chord, and in the middle we add something that acts as a nice transition. On its own it might not sound the most musical or interesting, but it does act as a cool way to transition from one chord to the other, and a lot of advanced players love to put these types of extra chords in. I'm going to give you just some passing chords, just as a little demonstration. But a passing chord isn't really, you don't have something that's designated as a passing chord. Any chord could be a passing chord, as long as it's in between one chord and another. By in between, it's got to be played very shortly. So let me give you some examples, but also think about how you can have a look at finding some of your own as well. A common one is going into D7, you play a D flat 7, sliding up into the D7. So let's say you're on a C, going to a D7. Let's try that with a split stroke, with a kun for the D flat 7 into a D7. Sausages, sausages, bacon, sausages, sausages, bacon. And again, sausages, sausages, bacon, sausages, sausages, bacon. Another one, C to G7 for example. Sausages, sausages, bacon, sausages, sausages, bacon. This time we're playing what's called a G diminished 7 chord in between a C and a G7 for a bacon. This chord can basically be played by taking a G7 and sliding the shape up. Your first finger becomes free, and these two fingers are playing the first frets of the C and A strings. This is a normal chord that you can play, but we're just using this as a passing chord. Sausages, sausages, bacon, sausages, sausages, bacon, sausages, sausages, bacon, sausages, sausages, bacon. You could play an A flat instead of a G diminished 7. Sausages, sausages, bacon, sausages, sausages, bacon. When going from a C to an A7, you can put an E7 in between. Or an E minor 7. This is where you take your E7, but you don't play that finger. You just play the second fret on the C and A strings. Either of them work. To be honest, anything works because it's such a short-lasting chord. The trick with a passing chord is that it often features similar notes that correlate to both the first chord and the second chord, or a similar finger shape that allows you to slide from one to the other. We've seen with that D flat 7 to D7, it's literally the same shape, just sliding up a fret. With C to G7, with a G diminished in the middle, we've got that finger shape that slides nicely into a G7. So you've learnt the split stroke, the triplet and the fan. What next? This is George's Genius, over 2 hours of content split across 40 lessons in 7 modules.
We'll be zooming in on lots of different Formby songs and breaking each one down to discover how we can bring them all to life. You'll learn advanced techniques such as the shake, the rake, halftime, changing up the basic split stroke pattern and even adding melodies to your chords. Then finally, preparing ourselves for a live performance with a backing track or live band. So head over to my website or click the link in the description to sign up right now, where you'll find it's turning out nice again sooner than you think.